Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am here finally doing my back plan for my week and go wild and actually talk about the things. So I did do like a haul video. It ended up being 3 parts, and in going back and watching it, I kind of felt like I was making justifications for some things that I don't think needs to have justifications for. And since I haven't done this, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. So let's see. Go Wild was the week of April 15th through the 21st. If you're not familiar with what Go Wild is, it is a planner conference. This was the 7th one that they've done. First was New Orleans, then Nashville, Austin, and I really wanted to go to Austin because that was like an hour and a half, 2 hours from where I was at. Didn't get the chance. After that, it was Vegas, Anaheim, DC, and then Dallas. So I went to Dallas. I have participated in like, let's go ahead and start laying some things down. I've participated in sponsoring tables before and swag donations, things like that. So I have, done those things and everything. So it is a planner conference. It is hosted by Wild for Planners, and they do it just about every year. It's a very expensive planner conference and stuff. I spent a lot of money, and I was talking with my husband about this, and I was like, I did that whole filming thing and stuff, but I felt like I was giving justifications and everything. And he was like, yeah, just, it sounds like you have buyer's remorse. And I was like, you know what? I do have buyer's remorse. That doesn't mean that I didn't have a good time and I didn't meet great people, but some of the things that happened and kind of just the expectations of things were not exactly up to snuff. For things that I have, experienced with other conferences, other meetups, things like that. So I'm just going to lay down. This is kind of just me, just kind of memory keeping. A lot of the days, like Monday and Tuesday were last minute items. I think Tuesday was like my full packing day. Nope, I left on Tuesday. So Monday was my full packing day because Shop Owner Summit was on Wednesday. Check-in was on Thursday, first day of conference Friday, second day of conference Saturday, and then I left on Sunday. So, let's kind of get into it. So obviously Monday was me doing nothing but packing and getting everything ready to leave the next day. I drove. I had a rental car, and it was right around 7 hours. So it wasn't bad. I can do about 8 hours uninterrupted. Anything, but that's like pushing it pretty close. Anything after that, and I'm kind of like, I'm dying, and stuff. So got to my hotel, got checked in, went and got some stuff for my table that I was sponsoring, and grabbed some dinner, got everything there and got my outfits for the week ready because Wednesday was Shop Owner Summit. So I made sure that I had everything done and ready to go for my table. We were going to be setting up tables Thursday afternoon before the welcome party, and that is a full story in and of itself. So I did not stay on site where I was. Hindsight, with everything that ended up happening, I really wish I did, but I did have a wonderful person help me out. Her name is Natalie. She is one of my PR girls. She definitely saved the day and everything. I'm really glad I got to meet her. Like I said, I have buyer's remorse based upon just some of the experiences, but I got to meet some really wonderful people. I got to meet some customers. I got to meet some previous PRs. I, got to hang out with a current PR and stuff, but it was for the amount of money that I spent, not only on ticket, hotel, getting there, and then having to sponsor a table on top of that. And I also did the merchandise license, which is why you see me doing this. This was the colors, merchandise license, and to not have any food served to us at all. Yeah, just a little disappointed in everything. So let's go ahead and get right into it, I guess. So, like I said, Monday going on, but let's go ahead and talk about Shop Owner Summit. Okay. So I have seen the Shop Owner Summit happen, and as a growing business owner, you want to do things, see things, go to things, network, things like that, to grow your business. And I was like, you know what? Let me go to Shop Owner Summit. Let's see if there's anything that I'm missing or what I need to do, and everything. I enjoyed hearing the stories from the shop owners, the business owners that were there. So Laurel Denise, we had see our friend from Moxie, Moxie Life? She has the planners. We had VJ from Notique. Like, I loved hearing their stories. And there was really only one big thing that kind of stuck out to me. And that was Sierra talking about getting a business coach. Somebody you can bounce ideas off of, that can help, mentor you, things like that. Get yourself a mentor. And I was like, cool, I don't have that. I don't have a mentor. I can definitely do that. Other than that, it was just their story. I didn't learn anything new about business. I mean, I've been in this for a minute, so I think it was really great for people who need the, what's the word I'm looking for? They haven't quite started their business, and they kind of needed to have that motivation, that inspiring stories, things like that. So we got headshots done. I got those back. One headshot looks absolutely horrendous. The other one looks really great. But it took, we got those just a few weeks ago. So it definitely took over a month to get those headshots, which is fine. There was hundreds of people there in terms. We've also said we went and got our yearbook photo taken during the conference. There's supposed to be something about a yearbook. I haven't heard anything about that. And stuff. I want to layer some things. So, okay, so let's go ahead and put that. So I'm going to lay this down on the day that I laughed. Okay. So that is what we're doing there. So yeah, this was a travel day, so we'll pop that up. We broke for lunch, and we had to buy our own lunch. So lunch was not provided to us. Now I gotta find a pen. I did not think this one through in making sure that I had a pen available. So let me grab one of my pens real quick. So they did not feed us. We had to pay. I got a little, maybe 8-bite Caesar salad, chicken breast, which was not even cooked all the way through, a bag of chips and a soda, and it was almost $30. That was insane. It wasn't even that great of food either. So we did not get fed. Okay. The lunch thing was 2 hours. It was from 12 to 2. And there was supposed to be a networking session there that was ran by Kane from Print Pressions. He did not do anything for us. He did not do a thing for us. he didn't come around to the tables. So I'm not a very good networker. Like, I won't just randomly go up and talk to people. Like, I need activities, things to do. Like, that's my personality. Say whatever you want about it. I get it. As a business owner, you should not be shy to be able to do stuff. I get it. So I get that I'm limiting my opportunities. I fully own those 100%. But when you advertise that there's going to be an actual person there and nothing happens, a little disappointed. Like, I kept just sitting to the side kind of waiting, and we ended up filling up our table, and we ended up chatting to one another at our table, and they were great. And everything. They were absolutely wonderful people. We exchanged information. We chit-chatted about things, all of that. And so head to Dallas. There we go. So that was great. But he never came around. He never came and said anything to anybody. He never, there was like to sit there for 2 hours, to have it be lunch and networking for 2 hours and not have a single thing going on. I think it was more like who can fawn and type thing. That's just my impression. Like, there was like customers coming up and fangirling. That's what it felt like to me. So yeah, so I was very, very disappointed with lunch and everything. Not something that I was excited about, not something that I want to ever do again, and stuff. So yeah, I say we, but it was just me. I went to, where did I go? I went to the mall and I went to Kroger's. That is where I went to pick up everything that I needed for the rest of my table. So, okay. And then what did I have for dinner that night? I had Chick-fil-A for dinner that night. So, some things I will remember, some things I won't remember, and that's all good. So, Shop Owner Summit, waste of money. I will never do a Shop Owner Summit ever again. Like, that was the biggest waste of money in my life, and maybe it could have been done completely better. In fact, I am 3,000% confident that it could have been done loads better for that. So I was very disappointed. Not only did I have to buy my lunch, but I also had to sit there for 2 hours and there was nothing that happened. When it was advertised and assumed that things would happen. I'm sorry, but if you have a picture of a person and they're going to be doing it and it's labeled as a workshop, the assumption is that that's going to be there. So I was not happy with that. So we got out pretty early. I think we got out at about 3:30 that day. And that was nice because then I could just go hang out, relax, get all that stuff, get everything ready for the next day, which was going to be check-in day and everything. That's when Planner Fair opened up and everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and put Shop Summit. I kind of want to layer again this. Let's go. Well, I guess we're going that way. Shop Summit. Like I said, this is my memory keeping. Networking session. Not worth it. And then we did headshots. Okay. So Monday was a very stressful day. Like I said, Monday was a very, very stressful day. I'm going to come back to that in a minute because I want to kind of keep working forward. What else did I do on Wednesday? It was an early wake up. Oh my goodness. It was a very, very early wake up. Very early wake up. So to get there, get in line, all that jazz. So what did I have for dinner that night? I don't even remember what I had for dinner that night. I wasn't very hungry. I never remember that. I remember I was not very hungry. I did not eat a lot on this trip. And everything. I think I kind of just stayed in the room. I don't remember. So I'm just going to leave it blank. So we have early to rise. Okay. So, and I got up early that day so that I could do my hair, my makeup, get all showered, get all nice. I had, you know, I bought a new outfit. I had a wonderful top and a jacket that went over. I had new shoes. I had new jewelry. Like, I felt really, really great. Okay? Really, really great. Let's see. I didn't end up having lunch or dinner with Natalie. Was it Wednesday that I did? It was Wednesday. I did have dinner with Natalie on Wednesday. That's what we did. Dinner with Natalie. So we met up at the bar. So like I said, I didn't stay on site. I stayed at a hotel that was a little bit cheaper. That was literally a mile down the road. It wasn't even that big of a deal. And stuff. And ended up having some days where I could do free parking. And then there was other days that I, whatchamacallit, ended up having to pay for parking. So yeah. That was fun and exciting. Okay, so, because I'll finish out Monday here in a little bit. Thursday is day one. Okay, so we have day one here, and day one was planner fair. So we had planner fair, which was pretty cool. I will say that, like, it was a lot going on. It was very, very overwhelming. But there was a lot of booths, there was a lot of activities, a lot of things to do, and everything. And then you also picked up your welcome bag, and stuff down at the check-in desk. So you got that. I went in a little bit later because this was the day that I needed to set up our table, and stuff. What else went on that day? So like I said, this was the day that I needed to, I didn't spend very long at planner fair. Okay, so we're gonna head to hotel. Actually, no, I met up with Natalie. I want to say we met up at around 1400. So 1400? I think it was that. I don't have my other phone, so I will fill that in because I'm not going to put things down just for the sake of putting things down. I do want to be pretty accurate. Okay, so I want to say that maybe it was 1600. Okay, because welcome party started at 7 that night, and we had not gotten done with with my table by the time welcome parties happened. Okay, so 7 p.m. we have welcome party. I just snacked that night because nope, I did not snack. I got pizza. That's right. See, I'm going through this. I snacked Friday night. And Saturday I ended up getting a burger. So I did a burger here, and then I just snacked for dinner that night. I did get Wendy's for lunch that day. It was a later lunch, but I snacked for dinner that night. And then I snacked when I got home. Okay, so we're gonna put those down. Those I remember. Okay, so welcome party. This was to set up table. Okay. We were told to be there at, and you know what? I'm gonna do myself some justice here, and I'm gonna pull my emails real quick. Okay. I want to say we were told that we could start setting up our tables at 4. Let's see. I have the email right here. Yep. Crystal Ballroom access, 4 p.m. to 12 a.m. Okay. Thanks again for signing up for Go Wild Tables. We'll have full access to set up tables in Crystal Ballroom on Thursday at 4 p.m. I have the email right here. Okay, if your table can be set up earlier, we'll send an email to let you know. We're just an email away if you have any questions. Cool. I want to get my table set up at 4 p.m. because I want to go to the welcome party at 7. It's going to take me at least an hour and a half, if not 2 hours, to set up my table. And I want to have a chance to breathe because it's a lot. So, yep. We met up at 1500 because with it setting up at 4, we met up at 1500. I had free parking. We went to go grab my suitcases from my hotel and come back. Okay. We come back and it's 4 o'clock. And we go to the ballroom and we can't get in. And I'm like, okay. So like we're asking volunteers around there, like, hey, what's going on? What's going on? Is there like, are we missing out on something? Is there like, what's happening? And nobody kind of really knew what was going on. And I was like, okay, this is really, really weird. This is really, really weird. But okay. So they're like, yeah, we can't get in because of, audiovisual. And I was like, okay. Do we have a time when we're going to be able to come in? And they're like, no, we don't know. Don't know. You can go ask. They're like, audiovisual, we just don't know what's happening. And I'm like, okay, this is weird. So we head down to where the volunteers are sitting, where they kind of have all the swag and everybody's like prepping their stuff. And I go to back there and I see some volunteers. I'm like, hey guys, does anybody have like any update on, what's happening with sponsors being able to go in and set up their tables? And everybody was like, no. They're like, you can head back to that table over there. So as you walked in, so the door over here, walk in, you have the big room over here. Back in this corner over here was a table where you had like the people that, some of the people that facilitate this conference, right? So they're, behind the scenes, volunteer, overseers, actual things. And I'm like, hey, so I walk up to the table and I'm like, hey, I'm getting ready to go set up my table. We can't go into the room because of audio visual. Do we have an update? Because I haven't received anything in the app. I haven't received an email. I don't see anything in the Facebook group. None of them would talk to me. None of them would talk to me. And all I see is the lady here in the back. I don't even know who her name is. And at this point, I don't really care to know who her name is. Here in the back, she's looking at her phone, won't even make eye contact with me, smirks on her face and shakes her head. And I was like, okay, that's all I need to know. Clearly there's something happening. I'm trying to be okay about it, but I'm a little bit stressed because there's been zero communication. And as a business owner and as a person in general, I hate when there is zero communication because I put time, effort, and money into this, and you can't respect any of that on me. I don't care if I am a multi-6-figure million-dollar business or I'm Joe Schmo from down the street. Communicate, because I spent time, money, and effort, and you can't communicate to your people. So then one of the other people down at the end of the table goes, you know, yeah, the freight elevator broke down earlier and audiovisual couldn't get up here. And so we can't go in there until audiovisual is done setting up. And I was like, okay, cool. Like that is something completely out of your control, completely out of your control. I get that. Do we have any idea when we might be able to go in? And they're like, yeah, we don't know. And I was like, they're like probably an hour and a half. And I was like, all right, we're going to go grab something to eat. We're going to put, you know, my suitcases in her hotel room, and everything. Not a damn freaking email was ever sent. No messages, nothing. We came up close at like 5:36 and audiovisual still wasn't done, but people just started going in there to set up their tables. Like it was the biggest shit show I've ever seen. And one that I was like, this is fucking ridiculous. And pardon my French, but I spent a lot of money on my table for my table people to enjoy their time, to not have just the basic respect of communication. They sent out an email of saying, hey, if you can set up your table earlier, we'll let you know. Well, you know what? The same thing goes that if you can't set up your table at the time that you said we could, you should be sending out information. So lack of communication, like I said, it is something that really, really bothered me heavily. And I make no apologies for it. You know, my feelings about it, because it was just, you can give some respect and still be frustrated about the position that everybody is in. You know, instead of going, oh, you know what? Somebody didn't send out an email. Somebody didn't do that. Oh, cool. Thanks for letting us know, you know, because I said, hey, nothing's been sent out, so I don't know what's going on. Instead, just chooses not to look at the person who's talking to you and stuff. So yeah, I will not be participating in future Go Wilds. The return on investment is pretty darn low, in my opinion. Like, easily. So you do have a minimum quantity, like you know, monetary amount that you have to meet per person at the tables, and it is 10 people to a table. I easily was at $150 per person at my table. Easily. With all the product that I did, the extra snacks, I provide drinks, extra little things, like they all got little caboodles, and stuff. Like, yeah, it just was not okay. Not okay. And yeah, the way that you are treated, I'm going to pause for just a minute. The way that you are treated during an event, whether you're attending it or not, speaks a lot of volume. And I am not the only one who has had bad experiences with this. The volunteers are tired, are exhausted. I mean, I talked with a few volunteers and it's a cluster of a mess. People were getting yelled at. People were in tears and stressed out. And I'm like, it shouldn't be like that. None of this should be like this. And mind you, volunteers do this for like a reduced price, and they were working them to the bone. It was ridiculous. And I can't, in good conscience and in good faith, continue to support something that I have now had a direct experience with, and stuff. And so, and let's just be honest, when we got our swag bags, you can definitely tell that a lot of small shops are feeling the same way. There's no return on investment. And I get that. It's a lot of stuff that everybody gets there, and stuff gets lost in the shuffle. But when you have, 1,500 attendees and you can only do full swag or half swag, even 700 pieces of swag is a lot to do. And if you can only do a single sheet, even if you just did a half sheet like this, that is at least 350 sheets of paper. hours of cutting, you know, not to mention the printing aspect. And then each one has to be individually, you know, sealed up. So that's 350 bags or 700 bags. Like and if only one person uses the coupon code that you put on there because you're trying to entice people to come shop, what's the point? What's the point? So, you know, I got to meet everybody that was at my table. They were fantastic people. They all wanted pictures with me. They were extremely grateful. And if you were one of those people that was sitting at my table and everything, know that I am so thankful you chose my table and so honored that you chose my table and that you loved everything. Okay? Because I put a lot of time, a lot of heart, a lot of love into that. And you can tell that, like, with the tables. But shop owners are just not getting their return on investment. There was no shout out for us. Nothing of like, hey, if you're a table sponsor and you're here, stand up so we can give you a round of applause. There was nothing like that to give a shout out. And to be honest, there's more to return on investments than just monetary stuff. Being acknowledged goes a long way. So, anyways, yeah. We had to pick our tables this day. We stood in line forever. I ended up running into Lanessa from Stoked for School. Yeah. I ended up running into her in the line, and her friend were like, hey, just sit here with us and chat with us and stuff. So that was nice because I was getting ready to go to the back of the line. I got down there pretty early, but that line was still very, very, very long. Oh man, it was very, very long. Okay, so 417. Okay, we had Bonnie. I'm trying to think what all. Okay, I gotta pull out my pictures because I don't want to get the whatchamacallits, the speakers. So we had a ton of speakers this day. We also had speakers this day. So this was the last day. We also had our crop night here. Okay, so I'm gonna put a speaker here. Okay, I'm gonna lay down some things first. And let's see, I'm going back to see my pictures. Okay, line opens. Okay, creativity. We had the planner feud. Okay, and then Martha Stewart. Okay, perfect. Okay, so Martha Stewart was this day. She is hilarious. She's hilarious. She's very bright-witted. However, I do have a couple of things. And I think it's rather funny, okay? Just because I just think it's rather funny. On this day we had, was that Post Secret that day? I think it was. So Friday, that's our wild crop, and then on Saturday, yeah, we had Post Secret. He was very good. I enjoyed that, but I was very emotionally drained that day. Okay, so Martha was talking to us, and she God, I'm losing track. Okay, so she's very sharp-witted. We talked about stuff. She came in. She didn't really talk to us. It was more of like a Q&A interview thing. But they opened it up where they could have people ask her questions and stuff. So, okay, so I sat with Natalie this day. Natalie was my saving grace at this place. She is the kindest, most amazing person in the world. She's super, super amazing. And she is a teacher. And I am so glad that I am friends with somebody who is so kind of like her, that is teaching cute little kids. I know they're troublesome, Natalie, if you're watching this, but just know that you'll have a heart of gold. So back to Martha. So it was more like a Q&A type thing. It wasn't her actually talking about anything. However, they did do where they could, people in the audience could ask questions, and this is the part that's funny, because I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for how I say this or what I say, but I am 40 years old, and let's just face it, there are people in this world that don't like me for who I am, that will never like me, that meet me once and have decided that I am not worth it. And that's the same. Like, you can't like everybody, right? Like, you can't like everybody. And when you are a business owner, you know, you are in the business for making money. You don't necessarily always want to be like, here, stand onto my foot and raise you up. Because if you're constantly doing that, you'll never ungrasp your hands and you'll never lift yourself up. That isn't to say that you can't have good friends, that you lift each other up, but you can't do it for everybody. And that's the thing. So, I want to say it was shop owner from Planning with Kay had asked Martha Stewart, and this is not verbatim, but the gist was, as a woman business owner, how do you support your own fellow women in their businesses and friends? Basically that kind of just like, how do you support women in this? Martha did not answer that question. She did not answer that question. She left that question and stuff. And you can take that for what it is. I have my own opinion about what it is. Like I said, you can't constantly support everybody when you are in the business of making. You are going to say, nope, I can't help you. I can't support you. That's just facts. That's nothing to be like, you are a horrible person. I, don't think you should have any of this. Nothing like that, right? It is strictly that you have to find where your support, and let's face it, not all people, men and women, are worthy of your support. There's a lot of people out there who will take advantage of you and who will take advantage of you and for their own benefit. And you have to be very careful of that. And likewise, if you are constantly supporting other people, your energy is not directed towards your own endeavors. So she didn't answer the question, but she starts talking about how her friend from Moleskine is just bringing out his the planners, and would we be interested in a planner? It got really awkward at that point, so I was kind of like, oh boy, yeah, all right, sweet. So I enjoyed sitting at the table. Unfortunately, somebody came by and stole one of our table mates' hats. So we had these beautiful pink cowboy or cowgirl hats at the table, and somebody came by. That is something that is also pretty big at these events, that people will steal stuff off the tables. So yeah, if it wasn't given to you, you don't take it. So there's a lot of people will run the gamut of like, oh, they got more stuff, they stole this, or they didn't give it back to the volunteers and whatnot. I had a table mate who didn't want some of her stuff, and I was at a table that only had like 4 people at it anyways, and she was like, I don't want mine, do you want it? And I was like, yeah, I'll take it. And I gave it to a friend, because that's what you do. You don't keep it for yourself. But you also don't steal. So that really, really did suck. So, we had a lot of good sessions, a lot of good, things. Some things didn't appeal to me. So like Amber and Altenew, did a thing where they, that was Wild Crop that night. I need to make sure I put that down. Where they did a little stamping session, and you made a card that they were going to mail to you later on in the year and whatnot. And I was kind of like, yeah, this isn't my jam. One, I'm getting ready to move, and I'm not going to try and figure out what address I put on that thing. So yeah. So I kind of just watched everybody and didn't really pay attention. Wild Crop was fun. We got to do some bullet journaling stuff, and we got some new products from Zebra that had not been released yet. When did I think I went, no, I went to lunch with Megan this day. We went to Torchy's. It was amazing. So let me I'm trying to find all my stickers that I want to use. So yeah, we ended up having lunch. So, and that was just a one-on-one time with Megan, and she's fantastic. I love talking to her. That night was Planjama. I spent a little bit of time at Planjama. It was not my thing. And I was tired. I needed to drive the next day, so I wasn't totally ready for that. So Planjama. Let's see. We've got some stickers there. Okay. So Wild Crop was fun. Like I said, that was fun. Day 2, Post Secret. Post Secret was very emotionally overwhelming. We ended up doing a washi, decorating with washi thing from Simply Gilded, and Kane from Printpressions. He donated the paper that we did it on, and you would put the washi down, and then you'd like take the little slice tool and go around, and then you'd go to lift up the washi, and the washi would tear the entire paper. It was not a pleasant experience. We all ended up, everybody at my table, we ended up stop doing it because it wasn't a good time there. So Planjama, early morning, travel back home. So I ended up packing that day. So back to Missouri, drop off rental. V from Under the Desk News talked. I know that, like political commentators can be a little divisive at times. She did great. She didn't bring any political aspects into it, which was really nice because, it doesn't matter what side of the vote you're on. When you're at a planner conference, I don't really want to be talking about politics when I'm trying to learn something for my planning journey. And she kept it very like social media-esque and stuff, which was really, really cool because I didn't realize some of the things on like TikTok and stuff like that, and everything. Okay, so I need to put that I finished packing, because I did do that. Finish packing. Finish packing, and then I needed to grab gas and what else? What else did I need to grab? Gas and breakfast. Okay, so let's go here. We're gonna lift this up real quick. Can I do this? Let's see. There we go. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so gas and breakfast. Pick up breakfast and fill up gas. So, all in all, I'm not going to do any character stickers. I really just wanted to kind of get this down. Like I said, there's some buyer's remorse. I don't feel like I got anything more out of it than what I already knew. You know, like listening to Martha, that was great, but we didn't get to meet her. Not having an actual networking session, workshop, not fun. Just hearing people's stories, that's great. You know what? I can hear your stories when you go on Instagram stories or when you do things. I needed substance. So I don't think it was the right conference for me, for what I was looking for. If this is the time that you are able to get with your friends and you do everything, cool beans. I did a friend thing back in February. We rented a beach house and that was amazing. That is so much more up my alley than doing stuff like this. So not having the respect after putting down money and time into a table and not being communicated with that we can't go in there, not cool. Just all around, just kind of the weirdness vibe. It just wasn't my thing. So buyer's remorse. I'm glad I met Natalie. I'm glad I got to have lunch with Megan. I got to meet my, other PR girls such as Halen. I got to meet Tori from Tori Artists. Planners, but overall, I really, really did try. Like I have my, throwing confetti up. I bought pajamas. I took pictures and stuff. And then, I ruminated on this. I marinated on this and everything. And yeah, I will not be, doing another table at Go Wild, and I won't be doing another merchandise license. Like I said, return of investment in all areas is what business owners look at. And that's just, it's nothing personal. It is strictly business. So, other than that, I still do need to post all like my pictures in my Facebook group of Go Wild and everything, and stuff. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed this plan with me. I'm glad I got it down and everything, and now I'm gonna go turn my AC back on and get this video updated and all that jazz. But anyways, any questions you have about Go Wild or anything like that, leave them down below. All that jazz. And yeah, you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in my next plan with me. Bye now.